Aprendro.
I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, turn around. I just wanna have fun, turn around. I just wanna turn around, dance, dance, dance. I just wanna turn around. I just wanna have fun, clap, turn around, dance, dance, dance. I just wanna